Peace to the gods on earth. It's the God-born Bill Universal, transmitter supreme science on earth and the universe. And this is iGod TV. We back in the building with the Augie.
Augie, what up? What
Yes,
up,
sir.
Augie?
Yes, sir. And y'all already know how we do things, man, but it just seems like all this year, man, we've been having to come hit y'all with the special broadcast, man, about the streets, man. So once again, here's another episode of the Augie and the Agavelli, man. And I want to thank everybody that's been watching, liking, sharing, subscribing from Facebook to Twitch to TikTok to every platform, YouTube, everywhere, man. You know what I mean? And I want to tell my people, when you step over to YouTube, if you want to really categorize the episodes and the things we got going, click on that playlist button, and then you'll see the Augie and the Agavelli playlist. Every video with me and the Augie is in one playlist. You can watch them all. Then we got the live from Planet Earth. We got the live from Planet Earth. We got the Game Changers. We got the Heat Check Radio. So everything y'all see as advertising, we have split up into playlists on the YouTube channel, which is iGod TV. It's iGod TV on every platform except for Instagram, Aquarian Mind, and the Big Augie. And then now we have a new page. We just started on Twitch. We're going to start live streaming on Twitch under the name 11th_house. I have that showing up under the screen, but it's the 11th house is the channel for Twitch. So y'all make sure y'all just keep supporting us, man, and let's start hitting that share button a little bit more, man, that like. So not because of me personally, man, but what it does is when you hit that like and you hit that share, it puts us more in the algorithm. So when people go on YouTube or go on these platforms, they see our thumbnails up there, they can get a chance to get this wisdom like we do, And you saw in the last commercial, I said, when you get it from us, add on. We're not one of them guys to be like, we said that first, or they heard that here. We want you to hear it here first, and then take it on and add on. This is what the 5% Nation does. I mean, nowadays they call it Nation of Gods and Earth, but I come from the original 5% Nation. You know what I mean? Along with the Augie. You know what I mean? And with that being said, I also want to say, that we're going to talk about a few things today, and like every time we do talk about a tragedy or something like this, a mishap, we find the positive in it. We give the flowers to the person the victim, you know what I mean? And then we just break down the psychological thinking of brothers right now and reactions and just how people do things, you know what I'm saying? So don't think you came here for us to try to solve the crime. We're not here to do that. We're not here to convict nobody. We're not here to say who did what. We're here to give a young brother Takeoff his flowers, and who I felt like was a great lyricist from the South. You know what I mean? And from what everyone said and from the interviews I've seen, especially the latest one on Drink Champs, was just a cool, laid-back guy, like to laugh, smile, and just take care of his family. You know what I mean? So we're going to keep it like that. We ain't come to solve no crime. We ain't come to give none of that. You know what I mean? So first, before we get into it, you know what I mean? I know y'all ain't seen us in a little minute, so I'm going to let the Big Augie go ahead and kick the salutations. Say what's up to the people, God.
I mean, peace to the people, Augie, to all the Augies and our guests out there, me and the Agavelli, once again, coming through with the special report. Unfortunately, this is another spooky one. Upon investigation of the whole thing as it's going on, it's just getting spookier and spookier. And what we want to tell y'all, cats, is if you stay out of these type of situations, this type of shit can't happen to you. I mean, I'm just saying that's just bottom line. You know what I'm saying? And we some instant faux pas that you shouldn't do if you in these certain situations. I don't care where you at and what you got. This is so we can live. You know what I'm saying? We just using what's going on as a blueprint to what to or not to do. You know what I mean? For our personal, preservation of positivity.
That's right.
And then, guess what, man? We're gonna start throwing flags. You know what I'm saying? Personal fouls, man, on these co-conspirators, these provocateurs, and these cats is generally uh, like the donkey of the day. We gonna blow the whistle and throw the flag on these cats, and just point out what they doing in this chess game.
Right.
And for and stay away from this type of energy, man. I mean, it seems all cool and all movie like, but this is real life. This man just really, he's not here anymore. He's
Yep.
not here anymore. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into it, but that's the bottom line. The man wasn't even 30 years old. And he's no longer with us.
Yep.
What about his children? What about his mama? And the one kid, Offset, that's his uncle. So what he gonna tell his sister about her baby? And he right there.
Yeah, Quavo. Yeah, Quavo. You know what? He got to go back to the family. When it was really it wasn't even like a performance or anything. You're there for the party. You showing some love to a guy you might be an industry companion with. And I mean, if you think about it, people got to start looking at what's really the definition of a industry colleague, man. Can you really put your trust and your life in their hands, man? Is it even possible?
Well, that take us back to a couple shows back when we started the Streets is a Myth, just to show cats how much the Streets is a myth. And we was talking about this no-fly zones and the check-ins and
Yep.
what I mean, all that culture. You know what I'm saying? Well, I hate to say it, but I'm gonna say it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we was at the original, if not the original, but one of the original places that you had to check your baggage in for a key to the city.
Right.
With Mr. Prince Senior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, in this case, we got a situation where they did check. Not only did they check in, they were with you. And someone was still injured for the second time. Now, this is the second time a guy from out of town checks in with you, stays with you the whole time, and still mysteriously loses his life, man. So what really is this check-in crap?
Right. And not only that, is it safe to check in with you?
Right. What is the check-in? Is me checking in meaning you gonna tell everybody I'm coming to town?
Right.
Or is you gonna keep it a secret? Is you gonna keep it a secret and say, all right, I'm gonna slide you up over here. We're gonna go to a little party, just us, to hang out, then we're gonna make sure y'all get the back up out of here. Not let's go downtown to the only bowling alley where everybody go. And hang out. Because I don't listen much to Wack 100, but when I was listening to something that he was saying on Clubhouse, he was even saying he even said that Pop Smoke had checked in.
Oh, see,
a lot of people didn't know. A lot of people didn't know that. Wack 100 said that Pop Smoke's management called him and was like, "Hey, we got a B&B in the Hollywood Hills." And he said he claims allegedly that he told them, get him out of that house and bring him to a hotel. There's more security at the hotel, but they had already paid for the house and everything, so they just kept the house. But even in that situation, somebody had checked in.
Right.
And it's like, what does the check-in even add up to if you still might not make it home?
Right. Hey, I think from the beginning, I thought it was either an extortion or an ego thing, of the people who so-called, got the keys to these cities. You know what I mean? Because, like the trick thing. And I'm not saying, nothing about this check-in code, because I guess it's for gang members and, you know what I mean?
Well, it started out in the music industry with Trick, I believe, right? He had the no-fly zone over Detroit, remember?
Okay, because they wasn't helping Detroit.
Exactly. So that's how it started. That's how the check-in started. What you just said. There was supposed to
Okay.
be, if you're coming to our city, check in with the people that are in the music scene. At least. Don't just come to our city, take our money, and leave. Work with a few artists, or at least listen to a few artists and see if it's anything you can work with.
Right,
That
right,
was
right.
that
right.
was Trick's whole philosophy. You know what I mean? But now it
Yeah,
turned
yeah.
into it. Now it turned into what to the second thing you said. The second good point you made. Now it's
You know,
check in with the gang so we can walk around with you and make sure you don't get hurt. But there's also a chance that we might just do it.
right. Irony.
Yo,
That's
crazy.
yeah, that's crazy.
Look, and
That's
let's not. I
crazy.
mean, we don't even have to go back that far because there's so many documentaries and so many conversations about this. But listen, Tupac was with one of the biggest gangs in the area, and he got took out. You know,
Yeah.
so how much
Right.
protection are you? How much protection are you dudes giving? Me and the Augie, we don't want to keep saying this because we're not those type of people to throw things in people's faces. But if you go back into the Augie, that's why I said click on the Augie and the Agavelli playlist, and you'll see that months ago, before any of this happened, we put out Streets is a Myth. First, we put out Special Broadcast. Then we put out Streets is a Myth. Then we put out Illusions. Then we put out Energy Vampires. We've been giving y'all this food, this God degree for almost a whole year so far, you know? And we're not saying we're experts on, you know, criminology or
Right.
or even psychologically, you know what I mean? You know, but at the same time,
Just critical observation. It's just critical
right,
observation.
through
We
experience.
just mm-hmm.
Through our own
Mm-hmm.
experiences, man. All right. That's just what we saying. We, you know, our past is our past, but it's been on them levels at many different times and points, you know. And the reason that we still standing here today is using our heads, and that's why we want to come on here and give y'all that same type of wisdom just to see what you can do with it, man. To maybe, you know, get your grades and get your, you know what I mean, see your kids grow up, have a couple grandkids, man. They said Takeoff.
Yeah.
They said Takeoff didn't even have kids, man. So he didn't even have a chance to. He didn't even have a chance to resurrect.
Even drop a legacy, man. See,
you got no heirs.
See,
imagine getting up out of here as a millionaire with no heirs.
No heirs.
To enjoy it. To enjoy your hard work, you know. I got one of my questions is I want to know what you think about this, Augie. We know the Migos had just recently, you know, broken up because of the contractual things and, you know, Offset buying himself out of the label and all that. You know, what do you think this does to the Migos with Takeoff being gone, man? Does this bring Quavo and Offset back together? Or does it keep it even separate? Does it make more of a divide, you think? I can't hear you, Augie. Unmute.
Oh,
there we go. Now? There we go.
Okay.
What do you think, Augie?
Hold up.
Come on. What do you think?
Go, quick. My fault.
All good.
That was my doggone cat kept jumping on me. But I think, man, on the real,
where do the Migos go from here, man? Do your family? Do you patch it up? Does death bring you together, or does it be, or is Offset on some? I told y'all so. That's why I tried to get up out of there.
Well, I think I don't think as far as the music go, they need to go. You know, that's like putting. I don't know. The Migos ain't the Migos without all three of them.
Would it look like a clout chase if Quavo and Offset did an album together? Like, oh, now y'all want to do it because Takeoff died, you know? Or would it look more like a tribute? What do you think? Because, you know, the internet gets weird. The internet will try to cancel you for some shit you really didn't have the intention on doing, you know?
And then you gotta think though, this is a different case because they all really family. You know what I'm saying? So this is a family affair
Right.
to the 10th degree. You know what I mean? Because all three of them was family. You know what I mean? That was his uncle, but that's also the other cat's cousin. They was cousins also. All three of them was was in the same fam. So you can't really can't call it no clout chase.
Right.
If they mend the fences and at least do a song together or do a song with.
You froze up, Augie. There you go.
Okay, so you like we froze up for a second.
Yeah, it froze up. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I saw your screen freeze. But anyway, yeah, I feel what you're saying. Like, even if they did some shit like P. Diddy and then when they did like the I'm Missing You or whatever,
Right.
Even if you do like a little tribute single, even if you do a tribute single with each other, like, yeah, shout this for our brother, you know what I mean? I know he didn't get to see us, put this back together, but we gonna do it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that'd be dope. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be dope. I mean, and Brian, like I said, Brian, all really being family. It ain't
Right.
gonna look. It ain't gonna look contractual. It ain't gonna look weird. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right. And prayers to everybody involved, man, on both sides, really, because you know what? Like we said, the streets is a myth, man. So even the brother that pulled that trigger, man, he don't know what he out here doing, man. He out here running. If he is, they claim they took him out, but some people saying it didn't happen. But either way, man, now you just running for your life. You just threw it away in 2 seconds, man. Like they say, 30 seconds of your life will cost you 20 years, man, or a life sentence, man. It ain't worth it.
That's right.
It's an illusion and it's a myth. It's what me and the Aggie been saying. You know what I mean? And we ain't on some old. We ain't on some old. We don't want to listen to them. We don't look. No, we coming at y'all as y'all. You know what I'm saying? With the real facts, you know what I mean? And the experience, man. You know what I mean? To put things where you want to put it and just know how to move, man. And you could tell dudes that situation anyway, man. Like when you hear what they was even arguing about, it's like, come on, man, a basketball game, a basketball game challenge, all this happens.
All them cats, right. Come on, man. Cats got way better things to do. Way too much money. Come on, man. That's what makes it to me sound kind of fishy. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit fishy. But I'm trying to see where the angle, unless you know what I'm saying. It was a setup at all. Unless it was a setup. You know what I'm saying? I don't even see how that could have went awry with all that money. And you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just like we were saying before, no professional security. We with the homies, and the improperly trained security, and you had a public bowling alley. You know what I mean? That they may be accustomed to, but these are your guests. They're not from here. You know what I mean? They here. You're supposed to accommodate these cats since they checked in. You know
exactly.
What I mean? They're supposed to be the check-in perks. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna tell you where to go, where not to go. You know what I'm saying? Or at least you go where they can control the movement of the crowd and keep you safe. You know what I mean? Or the people is on their side. We don't have a good time and wop.
You don't hear about this. You didn't hear about any of this with, peace to the brother, Uncle Luke. You know what I mean? You go down to Miami, you tapped in with Uncle Luke, you was nothing. You never heard anything about nothing like that going on. And look, they can even say what you want to say about New York too. New York is just as grimy, but out of towners make so much money in New York, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Hey, and if you're dealing with the right person, you ain't got to worry about it.
Nothing.
You know what I mean?
Nothing.
You know what I mean? You got
nothing.
Like, oh, he with Son, and Son, he good across the board. So
Boom. But see, I don't know.
Listen,
And these
I'm
other
talking about.
spots-
I'm talking about even to the point to where someone like Ice Cube could do his whole album with the Bomb Squad.
Oh yeah, and you ain't and you got nothing but great music.
You don't hear that. You don't hear that in California. You don't hear that in Texas, where somebody from out of town can go out there and do a whole record with one of the natives from out there. And someone can say, "Oh, well, about 50 Cent in the Game." No, they did that for the Game because the Game shit was on the shelf. So they had 50 Cent give him 6 of his own records to help the Game come out, because the Game was a Dr. Dre artist before 50 Cent even got signed. The Game was shelved. They did that to help him. It wasn't like the West Coast invited 50 Cent into California. You know what I mean? And you could say Tupac, but at the very same time, Tupac was only welcomed in by one section of dudes, the MOBs, the Big Bloods. You know what I'm saying? That's who Pac was rolling with, because you see at the end of the day what all happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a rival set. And Suge Knight said he grew up with the dude Keefe D. Like their parents lived across the street from each other. So it's like they have no respect for Tupac because they killed him anyway, and our parents is neighbors.
Hey man, that's how cutthroat the game is, man. But if that's what you know what I'm saying, but children are not seeing that. It's like an action movie. You know what I'm saying? These people is really, really, really out here losing their life. You know what I mean?
Right.
This shit is like for real. Like all these rappers, these kids, the King Vaughns, the motherfucking the Young Dolphs, shit, the Takeoffs. These cats ain't coming back.
Pop Smokes.
You know, Pop
PNB,
Smoke,
Nipsey.
yeah, the PNB, Nipsey. Come on, man. And you know what? It's so crazy when, like back in the day, you hear Big Pun, God rest his soul, but he died of an ailment.
Yeah. Craig Mack.
ODB.
Craig Mack.
ODB. Mm-hmm. You know, they said, you know what I'm saying?
Heart attack, cardiac arrest.
Yeah, right. But it's saying, but at least it wasn't out here on these streets.
Murder.
Messing with these folks.
Yeah.
Out here messing with these folks, man. You ain't promoting no records, man. You out here trying to have a good time and chill like a regular person, but you got $17 million in your bank account.
Yeah.
And you wanna rub elbows with cats who you ain't getting. Oh man.
Listen, it's like we said. It's like we said in the Illusions pod, man. And I know I keep reiterating from other pods, but just letting you guys know, you tap into that Augie and Augavelli playlist. I'm telling you, you're gonna get some good food for thought. But like we said in Illusions, you know, the industry is only giving money to these dudes that have real street reputations, and these dudes bring that into the industry with them. They don't leave it behind. Right. We see it through the murders and the music. They ain't leaving none of that behind. They're bringing it all with them. So even if you are at a private bowling alley at a party, it might be 3 people in there that's actual musician artists. Everybody else is just people everybody grew up with that they spread the money around to, that's still on that dumb mentality because they ain't businessmen. And like we said, like we said before in Illusions also, well, no, we did this in the PNB Rock. You got these dudes out here that just grew up with you. You put a gun in their hand because you feel like you trust them or they feared in your neighborhood. But these dudes don't know how to de-escalate a situation. There might be a situation to where it's like, bruh, we're going to talk this out. Don't pull that trigger. You know, you need, even if you got guys with you like that, you need to have a conversation in the sprinter. Like, look, if anything go down, if you don't see a direct threat, if you don't see a direct weapon or a direct aggression coming towards me, hold your fire and let's try to de-escalate the situation first. You know what I mean? But if you got something, you seen that young dude that he had with him? This dude, you could look in his face. He had 0 training on being able to protect corporate entity. Because this is what it is.
The yellow jacket cat?
Yeah. Yeah, because he was at the dice game with the jeweler too, with a black tee on. But anyway, when you look at this dude, it's like, look, they have a such thing for when you get a certain amount of money. They call this corporate, or they call it executive security. It's not it's not like the Secret Service, but they on that earpieces. We got people already at the place before we get there. That's how they move. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And that's how you're supposed to move no matter where you going. You ain't got executive security. You ain't even got you ain't even got basic security. You know what I'm saying? You bring in the dudes that's feared in your neighborhood that you might even be a little afraid of, and you bringing him with you with a gun. So he see you arguing, and they say it was a scuff. It was a punch thrown, then another punch. Only thing in his mind is thinking, pull the gun out and shoot, because he ain't being told, oh, let me fight it out or break it up or any of that. Because if you got real security, even if a punch does get thrown, that's all that's gonna get thrown. Security breaking that up immediately.
So they're gonna be all over everybody.
And you damn sure ain't gonna be able to sneak behind the other biggest member in the gang and shoot him in the back of the head.
Yeah, that's
come on.
That was a revelation that you put on. I said, well, dang. You know what I'm saying?
So that's like we all in a circle watching a fight, watching an argument, then a punch gets thrown, and dude standing next to you goes behind you and shoots you in the head. It's like, nigga, we were just watching.
But that's when you get in them situations, anything can go. This is a high stakes dice game.
Right. And now it's documented. Now it's documented that you're J. Prince Jr.'s head security guy. You're with him every way. So now we know what the time is. J. Prince can't back out of saying about nothing to do with it. It's that you got everything to do with it. And why are you arguing with Quavo over a basketball game? You J. Prince Jr. What do you even care, man? If you say a couple jokes on some, oh yeah, you lost your money, you want to win it back, we go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Something like that, maybe. But if you just, nigga, I beat you in anything. I already took your 17,000. I do. Quavo was like, this is his exact words. Man, they over here talking about that money they won. I'm about to go make that right back.
Right.
You know, and he like, I ain't about to go back and forth with these dudes, man. Let's get out of here. And then you see the punches thrown, and then you hear a shot. It's like, come on, man. Quavo trying to get out of there. J. Prince Jr., why are you not de-escalating it anyway? Your dad talks about nothing but honor and respect, and then you turn around and do this. And then your dad goes on to Twitter and says, whoever shot my nephew in the back of the head, you can't hide behind me. I don't tolerate the dumb stuff. It's like, hold on. Now you call, but look, now you call and take off your nephew. If he your nephew, you know he there with your sons. They should have had the highest security. This is like having the Beatles at your birthday party.
Hey, and you know these cats is gonna be jeweled out, the real shit.
Drinking, smoking.
Come on, man.
Everybody intoxicated.
You know what I'm saying? So why ain't they got a bubble of protection?
Come on, man. You got the Beatles at your birthday party, and you got little dudes from the neighborhood with Glocks.
Holding them down.
Come on, man. This ain't it. This, to me, no disrespect, because I don't know any of them, but I'm just saying in my opinion, man, and this don't look like the most prestigious organization as they try to make it seem. And I don't know if it has anything to do with the big homie, J. Prince Sr. Maybe since he done passed the torch and went full corporate, you know, this was what happens. If you look at the mafia, they killed Paul Castellano. Next thing you know, John Gotti takes over. Everything they do now is publicized till everybody goes down. That's what this looks like to me. This looks like the Gambino family when Castellano died, and now Rap-A-Lot or Mob Ties is being ran by John Gotti. He has to be on every Instagram. He has to be around all the rappers. He has to be at all the events, shooting dice, showing money everywhere. He has to have all this going on. We never saw Jay Prince until maybe 10 years ago.
Right. And we heard him. The most we did was hear his voice on the Ghetto Boys
I
album.
was just gonna say that. You'd hear his voice, you might have got a picture or two, but you knew nothing about Jay Prince.
That's right.
Senior. All of a sudden now, the Prince family is on the spotlight of everything that they do.
And not on the good end.
John Gotti.
Cause this, hey, and even with his daughter. Was that the Floyd Mayweather daughter? When somebody was telling Jay Prince to mind his business or something.
Yeah, because NBA YoungBoy.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah, that's NBA YoungBoy's baby mother is Floyd Mayweather's daughter or whatever, and then him and Jay Prince went through some stuff. Well, he had a house in Houston, and some of Jay Prince and some of the mob ties guys broke into his house, stole a bunch of stuff. So then Jay Prince went live on Instagram and was like, "Hey, I got everything that they took. I got your 3-car key, your Bentley keys. I got some other stuff they took, your umbrellas, everything. Just give me a call. I'll make sure you get it back." You know? And then that was the end of it. And then NBA YoungBoy went on there and was like, "Man, you got my number. Don't ever put that up on the internet again." You know, he's like, "Y'all supposed to be the OGs. That look like some sucker stuff to me. Putting my stuff out on the internet like, hey, come get it back." It looked like they was holding it for ransom. "Well, give me a call. I got your stuff." Now, when I call you, does that mean I got to give you some money for my stuff? Or is you gonna be a real mafia boss and have the dudes that broke in my shit tied up in the basement and say, "Hey, here's your stuff and here's the guys."
Right.
Well, most likely, them two ain't making it out of here.
Right. Well, no. It's probably gonna be the former.
It's gonna be, "Hey, give us some money. Give us some money. We got your stuff back." And if you think about it, they known for getting rappers' chains back. So who's to say y'all ain't setting up rappers to get their chain back to have to give you $30,000 to get it back?
That's what I was just finna say. How this dude always getting cash chains back?
Man, and a lot of people, I don't even want to talk about the man Kanye, but a lot of people are talking about what Kanye's saying about the other side. But we really need to take a deep look into who's running the black business, the black entertainment business, man.
Yeah.
And it's turning into a bunch of goons. Man. No respect. The labels is already ripping us apart. Now, when you get with a group of guys that you think you can make some moves with, they do nothing but either take your life or take everything from you.
Yeah.
A lot of these bad contracts that a lot of these artists try to get out of is be from somebody from the hood first.
And see, that's what I don't understand, man. Why, if we ain't self-destructing, we're for this finger pointing. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to say it like that. I'm gonna say it one more time.
No, you're right. Go ahead.
If we ain't self-destructing, we finger point. You know what I mean? But now, like this type of stuff, it's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? I'm talking about just on our mindset. And then, they're going to go back and forth on who did what, and it's going to get weirder. Trust me. It's going to get weirder and weirder, especially as they start finding the people to bring to justice. You know what I'm saying? Then you're going to have, is he going to tell, and what he going to tell, and you know what I mean? And, cats have been around some stuff, so that shouldn't be told.
Right.
Everybody got their own personal business. So, I don't know, Mr. Jay Prince Sr., like you were just saying, he shouldn't have passed the torch so soon.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. You're right.
Because they ain't under the right protocol.
They're not, man.
They ain't under the right protocol, man. And this new way of doing stuff is getting folks killed, and it's looking real gaudy, and it's looking real, it's looking suspect.
And it's got us looking dumb. It's got us looking. It's got us looking like we don't deserve no money.
Right.
Like y'all just gonna try to ruin all investments that people might try to make into black creators. You know, because you take as soon as they sign somebody, y'all take him out.
And then once again, he the brand that is Rap-A-Lot, that is Mr. J Prince. What he stands for, you know, respect and loyalty and honor.
Yep.
He got a book. He got a book that talks about nothing but these things.
Yep.
And I don't, you know, all this new stuff is. I can't say the mob ties, the mafia ties, or whatever it is. Is really exemplary of that, man. Because once again, this is the second cat who ain't. What you saying? The jeweler, the one jeweler dude.
Yeah.
He got.
Yep.
And this kid got. And at least the jeweler was gambling. I don't know, was Takeoff even gambling, or was he just there?
He wasn't even gambling.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
So out of all that, he the innocent bystander. Ain't had nothing to do with nothing, and he lose his life. The shorty
who was with him, she was like, he was outside smoking, then come back in, you know, stand around, take a few pictures outside or whatever. Then he went back in, and by that time the dice game was pretty much over. And then that's when they were trying to leave, and then Quavo and J Prince Jr. started going back and forth. But then on top of that, I mean, I know everybody's been saying it. I don't really want to say it, but it's just a real fact of the situation too. Is you just walk right past the situation and lead a boy just boom.
Yeah, that's the cold-blooded part.
It is.
That's the cold-blooded on all parties. All parties left him, other than the young lady
and Quavo, and of course Quavo.
I mean, of course. I'm just saying, but everybody else skedaddle. Of course, Quavo gonna stay with his nephew.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He definitely ain't going nowhere.
No.
But everybody else gonna skedaddle.
Yeah.
And you invited me to the spot.
Crazy, man.
I'm supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be your man's or your guest, or you know what I'm saying, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you kill the party guest. Your people killed my people, and you invited me here. What kind of shit is that, man?
Checking in.
Checking in.
Crazy.
Hey, man. So checking in ain't a good idea, man. Actually, why don't you just get low? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be the star when you go out. Why don't you just be regular, you know, Milton Donahue, if that's your real name. You know what I mean? You and your lady, y'all go, you know, y'all ain't got to be signing autographs. You know, take it down. Go to the movies. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you want to blend in with regular people. If not, get you the penthouse suite, and you know, and have everything come to your door, and you know. I don't know.
Exactly.
Hire you some security though, bro.
Man, please.
Hire some professional security.
Yes, man.
You know.
We can't say it enough. We cannot say. Look, like the Augie always say, "Who controls your brain?" Another thing we saying is get professional security, please.
Yeah, get professional security, man. Don't cut corners on your life. Don't cut corners on your life. If you want to be protected, get protected by the best. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you know what? I thought about something. I don't want to cut you off. I apologize. But I was just thinking about something. I don't want to show my age or any of that, man. But do you remember back in the 80s and 90s when celebrities went out, they wore disguises?
Yeah. They still do.
They'd have on like different wig. I mean, but you know what I mean? It was like a thing, though. It was like a thing. Like they'd have a wig on, or like they'd have something else. You know, the glasses with the hat. You know, they would always do something to not look like them back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Now it's this whole thing of, I want you to see me. I'm followed by 100 cameras. You know, it's like.
And my jewels is drippy. You know, I'm amongst you peasants. Jewels drippy like a video. And you know,
you're showing everybody my location.
And I'm going to the Waffle House in the Maybach. You
Word.
know, on the craziest part of town, you know, the locals don't even come here unless you
Yeah.
live in the neighborhood.
Yeah, the local rappers like, look, if I do go there, I send a female to pick my shit up.
Right. But you know, but you know,
But I seen,
that's
I mean,
another thing.
no disrespect to him or anything, man, because it's definitely unfortunate. But we all seen him on Instagram talking about how it could never happen, how that's impossible for somebody to do that to him, you know?
Yeah, but you
And
know,
you get to putting that in the universe, you know, to make
and
seem
next
like the
thing,
most high, the most high,
hey,
he don't agree with that type of conceit, man. You know?
nah,
Tupac
because
said
next thing you know,
anybody could be touched.
right, because next thing you know, you find yourself, you know, at the wrong Waffle House in the wrong whip with all the jewelry, and you know, and then go and cause I've seen that little interview. And
In this case, do you think he should have checked in?
well, I don't think Takeoff.
No, I'm talking
Was
about PNB Rock.
oh PMB. Oh yeah, I seen him say something about it. He wasn't checking in with nobody and something like that.
That's what I
Yeah,
was
I think
talking
he
about.
probably should have.
But
Yeah,
do
I
you
think he
think he should
probably
have
should
told
have.
somebody, even if he would have told somebody like, "Hey, look, I'm gonna take my girl to the Waffle House." At least a nigga could have told you on the phone, like, "Hey, nah, go to the one in Hollywood or
Right,
something."
right.
You
Yeah.
know. So that's what I mean.
But
Do you think it? Do like you said? You know, he had just posted that he fucked that. I mean, excuse my language, YouTube. Forget that check-in stuff. Do you feel like on this case that was a mistake? He should have checked in
yeah.
to at
Well,
least
yeah.
find out where he was going.
Yeah, if he had some friends out there, but coming from a guy who said, you know, forget the check-in protocol, you know, and you so public with it, who you gonna check in to? You know what I mean? Now you really being a hypocrite against what you said. Now, had he said some, I don't call it checking in. I call it hitting my homies up that happen to be from that city.
Right,
That's what you know. That's how
right,
I'm checking into the city because they're gonna show me where to go. They're gonna show me what the best joints is and whoop the wop wop wop. Because I'm
right,
not gonna walk around uh nobody's city by myself.
right. I do that.
I don't
Look,
know nothing.
I do that when I come see you. I don't look at that as any form of, you know, I don't look at that any form of being soft or anything. When I come down to where you at, I check in with you and we move accordingly.
Yeah.
I don't see it as
And like
nothing irregular at all.
right. You come you kick with but coming in checking with a total stranger, it's now if you saying if you went around on the map like okay, I'm going to Chicago and you try to figure out who you got to check in with. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Who I got to call so I can walk around here and be safe?
right,
You gonna be calling the whole. You gonna be calling the whole city.
right. You know what? I was
You know what
thinking
I'm
about
saying?
something. I was thinking about something when you were saying that. I feel like that kid, we saw him on the video with the jeweler and Lil Boosie. We saw him on this video standing next to Takeoff. And they said he's Jay Prince Jr.'s number one hitman. So everyone knows who you are, this kid, I feel like. Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like you're standing next to Takeoff that close without everybody knowing who you are. Like he's a multi-millionaire, man. This is one of the biggest rap artists in the industry. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right.
I don't care if it's a dice game or whatever it is. Just anybody ain't gonna just be standing right next to the richest dude in the room, probably.
Yeah.
You know, so I
Well,
feel like he kind of
yeah.
had to know you. Like he kind of had to know you or know, like, yeah, just Jay Prince, man. You know, he cool. He watching over everything. You know, making sure everything's straight. He turn around, shoot you. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Shoot you first.
Yeah, and then use your body as a shield. Excuse my language to everybody. You know, I don't want to. We don't get into that. Y'all seen all the clout chasers put everything up, and that's another thing I wanted to say too. You know, my kids can vouch for you, man. The very first time the Migos came out, the bando, back when Offset was locked up, and You Birds and all them songs, man. I used to play them songs when they first came out years ago, man. Emmett Smith. I was down listening to the Migos from the very beginning. I know a lot of people might say that, but I'm from up north, so that's kind of saying something. You know what I mean? I was listening to the Migos from the beginning. You know what I mean? I respected every single one of them. I didn't like the fact that they had a situation where it broke them up, but I did like the fact that Quavo and his nephew was carrying the torch and taking the legacy on. Because honestly, if you followed the Migos from the beginning, like I said, I did. Offset was in prison for a while, so the first couple albums they did, he wasn't even on them. You know what I mean? So they was already doing the Unc and nephew thing in the beginning. You know what I mean? And
Right.
Takeoff was, and even then, Takeoff was one of the best rappers in the group. You know what I mean? And he always seemed like a genuine dude from interviews. We all saw him on Drink Champs and things like that, you know. And I just wanted to give him a shout out, man. And peace to the family, peace to his family, man. And may he be welcomed, you know what I mean, by his ancestors, man, on the other side, man. You know what I mean? They say the good guy young,
Right.
you know. So I guess we the grimy ones, man. So all we can do out here is try to just show you what it's like to be on this side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. And you know, and urge you to live, man. So you know,
Yeah, man.
urge you to live. So you can pass on some of this arguing shit.
That's
You know
right,
what I mean?
man. And on another note, man, before we get up out of here, man, you know, just to change the tone a little bit, because we don't want to end on that, you know, but we got to show the flowers to the gods, man. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
definitely, definitely.
But they saying, man, Trump 2024, man, they be putting himself in the race. He nominating himself.
Again.
Yeah, man. I don't know how you feeling about that, Augie? After we done
Hey,
seen
man.
everything.
Hey, all I can say is this. I don't remember. I think I said this in it. That's Augie. That's Augie in the animal version. Come on, Augie. Gotta stop. Hey, as far as that, man, I think I made some points. Man. Hey, man. All I can say is when he was in office, right?
Yeah.
All I can say is it was more money out here for those who wanted to get money. I don't care what the cat say on about his social values. As long as you don't impede or calm me, you know what I mean, and you don't disrespect, you know what I mean.
Right.
You can feel how you want to feel, as
Right.
long as you know what I'm saying. But as far as hey man,
Yeah, I know, man. You know, it's pros and cons. It's pros and cons to every president, man. Even President Obama, man. There was good things, there was bad things. You know, some things happened with Trump that I don't know if you should be able to run for president again. Only on this level of you had the people storm the Capitol. You know, that's a coup. That's a hostile takeover. So you were
I mean,
involved in
but
a hostile takeover. We can't ignore that. So it's like, can you really be trusted? Because what if you lose again? What if you lose the year after that? Or what if you lose this time? Is we're gonna have to watch for another threat, you know, from these supremacists? You know, that's gonna have to be a big question everybody's gonna have to ask before they get out here and vote and they see who they're looking for. And my question for the Democrats is, you're gonna have to bring somebody stronger than Joe Biden on this next run. If Donald Trump's going to
oh
run, if Donald Trump's going to run, he's going to beat Joe Biden this time. You're going to have to come with
definitely,
something stronger.
yeah. Hey, because all I can say is, and I'm not a real political person because you know what I'm saying. I would be independent, if you will, but
Right.
ain't neither side did too much for the black person, for the person of color. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
I can't say the Republicans is about getting some bread, and they're about, hey, if you out here trying to get some money, let's get some money. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Right.
your personal values, that's a whole nother. Your moral compass is yours.
Yeah.
But if you want to get some money, you better get with the cats who getting the money. Because
Right.
all that old social issues, because Biden, I mean, it ain't got nothing but it's a lot of social issues coming with Biden.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got a lot. It ain't a lot of money trickling around,
It ain't.
but it's a lot of social ills. You know what I'm saying? You can't feed nobody off of social air.
Nope.
You know what I mean? The economy don't run off of Kanye talking about them dudes or even what we talk about now. Black on black crime, black on white crime. That ain't gonna put no food in nobody's pockets except for the journalists and in the media who is turning up the negativity. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
But at the same time, hey, that was a good question. I tried not to answer it because we gonna see, but I'm not opposed to what
I don't
Trump
see who the
did.
Democrat. I don't see who the Democrats have on deck to run against Donald Trump for the second time, because he's already got everyone thinking that they stole an election. So now they're gonna try to make sure he gets the votes.
Yeah. And then not only that, I mean, Biden ain't. What is Biden doing?
Foreign relations.
See, guess what? What about home? You know what I'm saying? The domestic
Homeland.
Yeah. Now everybody get all the rappers is done, and now they pointing fingers. And if you really look at it,
yep.
All the language they starting to use. If you are even in the music, you are a miscreant. I don't care what kind of hip hop or rap. They're associating hip hop and rap music with evil, with death. You know what I'm saying? It used to be different genres. Now, if you really suddenly listen, and every time they talk about hip hop, it ain't in a positive way. It's never in a positive way.
Yeah, no, you're right. You know what? And on that note, I want to tell people also too, man, the one thing you can try to make an effect on is vote for your local officials. Okay? Because look, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, whoever the president is, they get a certain amount of money every month. They delegate that money to all 50 states. Those 50 states, your governors, your senators, they trickle that down into your mayors. You know what I'm saying? Your judges and all these people around in your cities. So when you're driving around town and you see vote for judge so-and-so, well, if you think this judge is unfair and he puts people in jail for no reason, don't vote him in the next time. You think you're out of seat. That's why I want to tell people tonight on the show. You think you don't have control over the effects of what goes on around you, when honestly you do if you knew how to strategically work, how the system works. You can vote for your judges, okay? Excuse me. You can vote for your mayor. These are the people who decide where the money goes. You need a grant. Oh, you want a store over here, or you need these things fixed, or you need something done around your neighborhood. They got city councilmen that are voted in. You see these signs in people's front yards and you just drive by them thinking this has nothing to do with you, but on your level it does. Your city tax, your state tax, all that has to do with somebody that you can vote for. Okay? So I'm not telling anybody what they need to do, but I'm telling you, one way where you can make some kind of effect is locally voting. If you want to say, all right, the president and his views, I don't really think he cares. These people on this level, they have to put this money into the right places, and the money has to be spent. Like, they can't end the year and still have money left over, but if you know who to vote in, and who's really for who, in your local areas, you can start to see changes being made. Even if you don't vote, you still know who these officials are. So you could go to council meetings. They're not stopping you from going to council meetings at all. You can write the mayor. You can set up an appointment with the mayor. If you have a real presentation, of course, you have to be professional with what you're coming with and have a real argument. But at the very same time, I want everybody to know that don't believe the lie that you can't confront these people, in a not say just positive way, but in conversational way, negotiable way. And on top of that, you can be a part of deciding who is in charge of where the money goes in your area. You feel like your school don't get enough money? Vote for the levy. We all know how these things work. You know? And on the and at least take advantage on the local level is my point. I apologize for going on that rant, but
that's good information.
You know, at least on the local level, if you don't like that judge, you can get him out of there. You can bring your people together and say, hey, look, we all about to register and we about to vote to this next judge. We just need him out. It can happen. I know I'm from a town too where since I was a kid, same judges. Because the right people don't vote. So when that goes around, his supporters just vote him right back in.
Right.
You know, when very easily we all go get our license and all go get our license plates. You can register to vote right there or even online. But whenever you go get your stickers or whatever in your car, you can say, hey, register me for next term. And then you can go right up to the church or the high school next to you and you can get that judge right up out of there. You can get that mayor right up out of there. You can get that city councilman who's been spending all the money on parking decks, you know, and Dollar General Markets. Yeah. You get him out of here. Exactly. It's possible is all I'm saying, family. I'm not saying don't go in there and just you vote and like, oh, the Augie and Agavelli told me all I had to do is vote and the change it happened. You got to bring the awareness, like we said, add on, let people know what we're talking about and let them know how to move and come together. And then we all go vote. We get 50 of us, 20 of us. 20 of y'all go to the club. 50 of y'all go to the nightclub.
Right. Strength in numbers.
And all y'all don't, and none of y'all like the judge or the judicial system in your area. But y'all can't get them same 50 dudes to go up and vote somebody out.
Yeah.
You know?
It works.
It's at least worth a shot. I'm not even saying the next guy you vote in will be even any better, but at least it's a new philosophy.
Right. And then do some research on these folks. You know what I mean? It's all public knowledge. Everything, everybody that's getting voted in, you can Google it. You can Google their career up to that point and see, if you like their plans and where they come from, because they like to let you know who they are. You know what I mean? So when you vote them in, it was like, hey, well, you already knew what it was about.
Right.
That's why I thought you voted. That's why I thought you voted for it.
Exactly.
It's all there if you want to see it.
Sure is.
But
sure is. I want to give y'all a little bit more game too, man, before we get out of here. Like we were saying about the local officials, to making things happen. But there's money that gets delegated every year. To your area, you know what I mean? And these things can help open up businesses and do other things like that, man. And not only through like grants and like things like that from your city, they also give out, you can look it up online, but they give out open contracts. Like say they do the roads and they do like the major things and things like that, but they have other contracts that they give out. Like they have buildings that got built, now it needs painted, or now they need electricians, or now they need laborers to get rid of a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? They give out city contracts to open businesses, you know what I mean, to do the other side work that's guaranteed pay. They don't just hire within the city. Those are just for the major departments, but they have a lot of other things that they have going on that they give out money for people, man. And even on those levels to look up for a little bag, man, you should look up what your area gives up and the type of things, because they have housekeeping. If you got a housekeeping company, ladies, or even a man, you know what I mean, you can get those contracts. They clean the offices.
Transportation.
Yeah, transportation. They clean the offices. You can have a cleaning. They got building maintenance. They got all these things they give out contracts for. You know what I'm saying, to different companies. You know what I mean, or even just different people. Period. So we just wanted to give you a little game, man, and just ended up on a lighter note, man, and just show you something positive that we can do to just change our direction that we going in towards destruction, man. And we're going into the new year. We're going into the new year, less than 60 days left. You know what I'm saying? So it's time to lock in and prepare for what we really want for this next year for our families and ourselves, man. You know what I mean? Go ahead, give them some, Augie, before we go ahead and peace out.
Stay away from dice games unless you're in a casino. Always, keep your personal, spiritual, and mental security with you. You know what I mean? And from the Augie and the Agavelli, it's a big Augie to my Augies. You know what I mean? Let's stay safe out here. You know what I'm saying? Salute. And until next time, keep it Augie. And kids, stay off the drugs. Stay off the drugs. That's all I got.
That's a fact, man. We want to thank everybody once again, man. And we want to say, show a little love, hit the like button, man. And, and make sure you subscribe, man, to keep the algorithms going so we can just give out the real discussions and conversations amongst all this, all this cloudiness and smoke and mirrors that's going around on the net, man. Let's pass around some of the truth. So like and subscribe, even share, you know what I mean? And stay tapped into the Augie and the Agavelli, iGod TV. We appreciate everybody. You already know. Peace.
Peace.